Morning, my dear friends. Yeah, welcome back, and I want to talk to you about something. And just in case you're wondering where I'm at, because I'm obviously not in bloody cold Germany, I'm in Thailand, and I'm also going to talk about why I'm in Thailand as part of this video. So let's get going, innit? And yeah, I'm also just going to take you through my day, both today and tomorrow. And right now I'm coming from my first Muay Thai session of the day. And now I'm just going to hang out for 6 hours near the gym because I have my next Muay Thai session this afternoon at 4 p.m. And then tomorrow I'll take you to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Nobody here. Oh, now they're calling someone. Yeah. Okay, easy. So basically the reason why I'm here is that on prior bikepacking trips, I've multiple times felt uncomfortable. Because in Scotland, I saw some Scots beating up a Pakistani guy as like youngsters, but knowing nothing about self-defense or fighting in general, didn't dare to intervene. And then in Italy, Sicily specifically, I got attacked by dogs. And again, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't even know how to throw a punch, block a punch, do anything with my body. And that bothered me. Like, it had bothered me before, but bothered me specifically then. So yeah, that's kind of how I decided that I'm scared. You know, that's what I realized. Like, I'm scared, and I have every right to be, because I wouldn't know how to defend myself. And that's sort of like, yeah, the problem I diagnosed. So I was like, okay, at some point I promised myself, I'm gonna change that. I'm not gonna leave it that way. And that's how I started thinking about that I should go train to fight somewhere. So in all fairness, because I'm feeling a bit under the weather, and the other coffee was so bad, like genuinely I drank it and it was not very nice. So I'm now back at my go-to place, café, right next to my crib, just because, yeah, I'm tired, I'm not feeling well, and then like drinking bad coffee and figuring out where to eat lunch wasn't it. So now I'm at my favorite coffee place, and I know a lunch place where I'll go, so that's cool. And now I'm gonna read a bit, and yeah, then I think over lunch we can continue talking about what got me here. I'm in Thailand. I have at my next regular spot, which is this cute little restaurant where I always go for lunch almost every day. And they have some really cool options. Like today I'm getting chicken breast soup, which is 50 baht, which is equivalent to €30. And I always get 2 sunny side up eggs on top, which are 30 cents each. So that makes for a lovely lunch. And they already know me by now. So I was like, I want the soup, and she was like, and 2 eggs. I was like, hell yeah. So I just love having my regular places where I go. I think I have a fever. Fucking hell. Yeah, I think I have a little fever. Well, anyway, that's where I get lunch. Different thought. Just reading a book on self-worth. It's called The 6 Pillars of Self-Worth. And I think I haven't read a book this revealing in quite some time. When I say this revealing, I mean about myself. To myself. Like, there's a lot in the book that's being said where I go like, damn, this is like 100% me and my behavior and my thinking. And then it outlines how some of it is flawed. And yeah, it's really fun to read it. I personally love learning about myself. And I like have no shame to change and like admit my flaws. It's one of my strengths. But sorry. Very strong recommendation to read that book if you have any like doubts about your self-worth or like struggle with it, because it adds a lot of theory behind it and a lot of thought, which is really cool. And from what I understand, it's pretty evidence-based. Like the guy is valid, and it's not just like self-help book, but based on science. And now I'm going to show you where I live, which is this like high-rise in the back. That's where I live. I live on the 4th floor, so you can't see right now. But I got an apartment for a month. It's pretty cheap. I'm paying €200 for a month of rent. I did have to upgrade the bed a little bit because it was way too hard. But other than that, it's a very solid apartment with like AC, fridge, everything. So couldn't be happier except for the bed. But now I got it fixed, so that's good as well. Just gonna find the key. Then I'm gonna take you in, show you where I live and what you can get for €200 a month in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Right, so to the left, I've got my bed and the first desk, and then I got the corner, so I got like a nice window here, which makes it very bright. And then like, yeah, chair, fridge, got the AC, and then a little balcony, which is quite cute. Plus obviously a bathroom, which has a separated shower. A lot of the bathrooms here actually have the toilet and the shower not separated by a wall, which can be quite annoying. So I'm quite happy that this one has it. And yeah, that's a basic tour of my apartment. And I would say, and I'm gonna rest a bit, and then I decide if I actually go train in the afternoon or not. So I took some rest, and I'm feeling better. Not great, but better. And therefore, I'm now biking to the gym. All right, I've arrived at the gym. And since most of you probably don't know what a Muay Thai training session looks like, I'm gonna walk you through it and do a little voiceover with my lovely, cracked, sick voice. Well, let's go. Yeah, so I personally train at Munich gym in Chiang Mai, which is a bit out the city, but I found it to be the most technical and best gym that I found. So that's why I take the 20-minute drive every day. And most people run as a warm-up, but because I cycle there, I just do some dynamic stretches and make sure that my hips, my shoulders, and all of the important joints when you hit a sandbag for a while are actually warmed up and ready to go. We then wrap our hands, which adds additional cushioning and stability to your hands inside the gloves, so when you hit the pads or the sandbag for a while, it's less likely to injure you or hurt afterwards. And I still have absolutely no clue how you should really do it. Even some people showed it to me multiple times, so it looks different every single time. And I'm always a bit ashamed to show my reps to anybody because they look all over the place. Then we do roughly 20, 30 minutes of shadow boxing. And if you don't know what the people are doing, it looks really odd because you're just punching the air. But really, I think you're trying to drill in the techniques and combos that you would otherwise practice on the sandbag. Then it's finally time to put on the gloves and go to the sandbag, drill in these same motion patterns. And at the same time, half of the group is hitting the pads, which you can see in the background where the trainers are holding the pads, and then you can actually put a bit of power behind your punches, and they ask you to do certain combinations, which overall is supposed to drill it in and help you practice that for when you actually have a fight, which a lot of people that are training in this gym actually do. Yeah, and here you can see some guys, like especially the one in the foreground and then also in the background, hitting the pads that are way, way, way better than me, so it actually looks quite professional. Some in the back are actually professional fighters. And when I hit the pads, it's very slow and they're kind. And this is followed by my favorite part, sparring. We actually get to team up with the others and practice what we learned. And this guy was super, super nice to me. He went very slow and light. As you can see, he's barely touching me, just showing me all the gaps in my technique. Not always the case, but overall at Munich, most people were very friendly, and that reduced the painfulness of the sparring to a bare minimum, which I'm very thankful for. All right, my friends. Time to go home, training's are up, and I'm gonna look like the biggest jackass in the world tonight. I got my headlamp and I have a motorcycle helmet because I came here with the motorcycle this morning. But look at the nice sunset behind me. Yeah, half an hour off the bike. Let's go! And then we're gonna eat. All right, that's why we're now having dinner, and this is my go-to place. You can get a meal for like €1.50 here. And I unfortunately forgot my mic and my Osmo Pocket, so you're gonna have to listen to this audio. I'm here with a buddy from Germany. It's really nice to have him here. He taught me a lot about Muay Thai as well. Yeah, he's just getting us some drinks and I'll show you the food. So our food's arrived. Let's fucking go. Looks delicious like every day. Yeah, and here's my buddy, Jonah. Second meal's gonna come in a second. And we actually know each other since childhood, which is crazy.
Selbstbewusstsein.
Hey guys, that was my day for today. Yeah, tomorrow we'll go on, probably a BJJ session depending on how I feel when I wake up. But irrespective of that, continue chatting about what I'm doing and how that's going. Morning friends, welcome to day 2 and what is arguably the best cafe in Chiang Mai. The coffee here tastes like chocolate, super cheap. If you're ever here, come here, Hermit here, café. So yeah, as I said yesterday, I just really disdained this feeling of helplessness and not being able to defend myself. And I could have just left it there and like accept that feeling, but I personally don't like doing that. And as I know that I'm now going to be traveling for 1.5 years roughly, cycling from Munich to Australia. Yeah, in Sicily I promised myself that before I was gonna embark on the next trip, I would learn to defend myself to an extent, like I'm not being delusional thinking that I can pick up proper martial arts in like 6 to 8 weeks, but learning languages and other stuff has taught me that in 6 to 8 weeks, you can learn a lot and like you can establish a baseline. And so, yeah, so the takeaway that I came away with was that when you, or like when I at least identify feelings like that, where I like have a very strong deficiency and I'm not happy with where I'm at, I think that's totally okay. But then I personally like trying to take action on that, whether that's going to therapy when it comes to self-worth, or now flying to Thailand and train martial arts, even if that's not my typical cup of tea. Yeah, oh, and look at this view. Like right now, the smog here in Jiu-Jitsu, change of topic, but the smog is really light at the moment, so you can actually see the mountains. It's quite a pretty city. Not as good as Innsbruck, but it is nice. It is nice. And I'm now gonna grab a pain au chocolat, and then I'm gonna take you to BJJ training. All right, and so I'm all dressed up in my very hot pink rash guard. And just like in Muay Thai, I'm gonna walk you through the workout, or like not workout, training, it's not a workout. So you get an understanding what BJJ is all about.
All right, so I train at BJJ in Chiang Mai. They have 4 different trainers that instruct the classes, each of whom has their own style of warming up. Vic, who did this workout, starts with running-based stuff, and then we move into ground-based warm-ups, which I personally love a lot because they actually move your entire body and prepare you for the movements that you'll be doing in BJJ. The teacher then breaks down the technique of the day, and I'm actually gonna let this part play because I want you to see A, just how detailed the technical instructions that Gato gives you are, and B, how it's not about brute work like I feel it is in Muay Thai, but actually about getting a lot of small details right and then applying force once you have these dialed in.
Okay, maybe I want Jan's back. Maybe I want the crucifix, but his arm is too tight. Okay, but I can see that his head is exposed. Okay, I can't really attack the back, so I'm going to switch over to the head, put my chest on his back. I'm going to circle, 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 circle. I'm going to grab the tricep and the chin. I'm grabbing the chin and closing my elbow to the chin strap. Okay, so we're here. Notice, guys, that I'm up on my feet. I'm not on my knee where he can just grab a single leg. Yeah. Okay, so now if he tries to grab a single leg, I have mobility, I'm on my feet. Okay, once we're here and we're ready to get into our entry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock my hands together just around his tricep in a gable grip. Actually, I'm locking my hands more in the armpit, but my forearm is coming here to the tricep. Okay, now it's really important, if I lock this grip, Jan is going to put a lot of weight on his arm, or maybe he'll like even open his arm. Okay, it's going to be really hard to get his arm like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lift him up and get his arm across. Okay, now as soon as we're here, I'm going to look to peek in. I'm going to look to peek in my head. I'm not pulling Jan on top of me because he can stay up. I need to make his upper body do this. Make sense, guys? We're here, get my grip. Jan puts weight on that arm. I'm gonna lift him up, get the arm across. Now when I'm ready, I'm gonna look in, and I'm gonna dive to this inverted north-south position.
Then we team up and we drill in the technique that we just learned. Here I'm practicing with Jordy, and the nice thing is that everybody is so nice, and you actually have the time to learn the technique really slowly. You give each other feedback on what you're doing. As you can see here, I'm resisting a little bit so that Jordy gets an idea what his opponent might do in a real match when he's competing. And you're really not getting hurt. Like, you're just practicing, you're getting the details. Yeah, it might be like a 1 out of 10 pain every now and then, but that's totally fine. We then typically do 2 to 3 more iterations of technical details that add to the same system that we started learning in the beginning of the class before we move into free sparring. And in free sparring, you can really apply everything that you've learned so far. So for me, that's everything I've learned in the past months. For others, it's everything they've learned in years. And you do simulate a fight. But when I say you simulate a fight, you're still being respectful, you move slowly, and the moment a person notices that they're either in a choke or submission, they just tap on the other person's body or the mat or say it, and you stop. So you're really not getting hurt either, unless something goes wrong, and sometimes you get like an elbow or something, but it's never intentional and it's never really bad, which again makes it very fun and playful. All right, that was BJJ training for y'all. Let me know what you think, both of BJJ and Muay Thai. A lot of people say BJJ looks gay, which I understand, but I don't necessarily agree with. And it's just fun getting strangled. Anyway, I just spoke to one of the trainers, and I think like my main point is like, even now, having trained the way I've trained, and you saw me train now, I already feel a lot safer or I already feel that I would feel a lot safer in a real world scenario if somebody were to like approach me, or I'm in the bar and some drunk comes up. Just because I know what it feels like to get punched, I know what it feels like to be in a clinch, etc. And I'm very well aware that against most people I'd still lose if they know what they're doing, like no question about it. Everybody here can fuck me up. But I can tell the situation better, and I have 3 to 4 more weeks left where I can train and refine my skills, and I might switch to Muay Thai to boxing or like a different Muay Thai gym. But BJJ, I'll probably keep training. I really enjoy it. And yeah, that concludes the video. I hope you all had a fun time watching me enjoy Thailand and learn something. And I'll see you in the next one, either in Germany or another time in Thailand. Yeah.